Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Karan and Dr. Irene Abrams, and it's time for another episode of the Bestie Advice. Hey, besties. And on today, you all, we are going to be discussing upgrading your lifestyle. Now, you all have already seen a few of our episodes. We kicked off this season with Dr. Tiffany Jordan, where she talked about living a limitless life. And on today, again, we want to talk to you all on today about upgrading your lifestyle, your personal lifestyle. And we have two of our favorite besties. Y'all, these are our only besties on the bestie advice, but two of our favorite besties. We have my sister, Stephanie Jones. Hey, Stephanie. And we have our girl, Tawana Williams. Hey, Tawana. And we are excited, you all, to talk about this topic on today with two of these beautiful, beautiful women. Now, we have introduced them as often as they have been on our show. But today I want to give like a little introduction when it comes to the both of them. I love both of them. Both of them, they're beautiful, beautiful on the inside and out. They're resilient women, intelligent and smart women, women of wisdom. And they are successful women. Now, they're both successful being mamas to boys. Yes, mamas to boys and boys only. And y'all know how it is with raising a good man child. And they have been very successful with raising their sons, but also they're successful in the corporate world, both being leaders in their various companies, being not just the supervisors, y'all. No, both of them are directors at their companies, being directors over various departments within their firms. So again, we just want to welcome you all and thank you all for joining us on today. And we are excited to hear what you all have to say about upgrading and improving your lifestyle. Irene, what we got to ask them on today?
Thank y'all. Thank y'all, and Tawana. So, yes, we're talking about upgrade. So, I want to hear from you, Steph and Tawana. Like, what does upgrading your lifestyle, what does that mean to you? When I say upgrading your lifestyle, what does that mean?
Yes.
Tawana, you want to go first?
We said it at the same time. I'm like, I'll go. Upgrading, improving my life, for me means revamping my life and a different mindset from doing everything almost totally different than what I used to do and how I used to do it. So for me, as y'all know, some things for me upgraded because of I was kind of forced to. Some things I decided to change. Last year, I lost my second oldest son, so I had to shift a lot of things. With losing D, life changed for me forever. So I had to shift. One of the major things that came with that upgrade for me is that a lot of things that used to matter just don't matter like they used to anymore. And that was an upgrade that was out of my control, right? So some upgrades you say, you set goals and say, hey, I want to upgrade my life, I want to do this differently. And then some upgrades you're like, I gotta move because my life just shifted. So that's what it means to me.
That's good.
For me, I don't necessarily see it as an upgrade, but I see it as just growth, like a natural progression of where your life should be at different stages of your life. I feel, as Tawana said, certain things will happen in your life and it forces you, or let me change that, it should force you to grow, or as we're saying now, upgrade. So for me, the upgrades have simply been because Stephanie at 25 was not the same Stephanie at 30 and is not the same Stephanie at 40. So it would make no sense for me not to upgrade my life because I am not the same person. Therefore, my life needs to change to reflect who I am now.
That's good.
It is.
That is good. That is good. And so when you think about as far as upgrading your lives, you all are two different individuals. So like Tawana said, uh some upgrades that we make to our lives or some improvements that we make to our life are not by choice, and then others are by choice. So I just want to ask you all, and I both want you to answer this question. What are some personal upgrades that you all have made in your lives, if you can share with us?
Yeah.
So for me, a personal upgrade that I made was to get remarried. And I know I talked about this before on another podcast, but um I I didn't know when I got divorced, right? I did not know. Had somebody told me you'll get married this time next year, I would have been like, to who? But the way that it happened, I was able to make a decision to just to go with the flow, right? It was definitely God ordained because neither one of us were actively looking for each other. But the way that it happened, it was just like this is the way that it's supposed to be, and we both came into agreement that this is what God wants, and we're just going to move forward. So my life definitely upgraded in that aspect with a new marriage, and we are a year and 6 months, I believe now. So
Yay.
yeah. So yeah, it upgraded in that way, on that level. So
That's good. Steph?
So personal upgrades for me, I'll speak like past seasons and this season's.
Yeah,
So some personal upgrades have been, going back to school after being out of school for a while.
that's good.
Um, Becoming licensed professionally in a specific profession have been personal upgrades. But I think in this season, my personal upgrades are not as extravagant, but are still upgrades. So like
Hey, your
I
upgrade,
deep
your
cleaned my
upgrade.
room the other day. For me, that was a personal upgrade.
That is.
Because I know that for me, I think better when I'm not in clutter. And
Mhm.
I understand that other upgrades are about to take place. So I need to clear my thinking space.
Yeah,
Um, or just upgrades of knowing now when to take rest.
Yeah.
So, like I say, in
yes.
this season, my upgrades may not look as big as my past upgrades,
Yeah,
but they're kind of preparation for what's to come.
that's good. And y'all, look, Bessie's out there. Stephanie is being extra humble right now. Let me tell y'all about one of the upgrades, because see, she ain't gonna tell y'all, but I'm gonna tell it for y'all.
Oh, all my business.
I'm gonna tell it for her. One of the things that I have noticed as far as with Stephanie, she has set a goal for her and her son to go out of the country every year. So you know how we all plan vacations, whether you're going to Wisconsin Dells, you're going to Hawaii. Her goal is they have to take one trip out of the country. I feel like that is an awesome upgrade in your life when you have actually set things in order and set things in place in your life. You got to save for that. You just can't wake up tomorrow talking about I'm going to Barbados. Like you just can't do that. You have to save and plan for that. And I just love that. So I just want to share that with y'all because she wasn't going to tell y'all, but I wanted y'all to know.
No, but I think that that's good because, like Stephanie just said, everybody's upgrades are different, but
Yeah,
it just shows to going back to what Stephanie said, the girl that she was as a teenager,
mm-hmm.
25, 30, and 40 is different. Her priorities
Yes,
have shifted. So the upgrades
yes,
are different.
yes.
And I think that's good. I mean, Stephanie, baby, I'm with you. I go out the country every year. Okay. I'm out the country.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
but I think, I really love having this conversation because both of you guys are forward thinkers, and
yes.
I think that's important. And I wanted to ask you guys this: when did you make the decision that I want to break out of the norm? and do something different. Because I think a lot of people, women, we get stuck in the same old thing. And both of you guys have done things like Stephanie. A lot of people wouldn't go back to school and, at an older age. Not that, I mean, you're still young. I'm just saying a lot of people wouldn't do that. You have a child, things like that, but you knew what you wanted for your career. You did it. Tawana, you took a risk. You took a leap of faith at love. And so many things you were experiencing extreme highs and extreme lows at the same time with new marriage, loss of son, so many things, but your mindset, has you both really leading these lives that are progressive. What made you both continue to press forward and move forward and be, progressive in your lives?
Steph, you want to go?
Sure. That is a really good question. I feel like for me, I don't like to be stagnant. Like it feels heavy. Like it just doesn't feel right. So I think for me, your question of, at what point did you decide? I think again, in every season when I feel that things are becoming too easy, that okay, it's time to make a change. Or when things really become uncomfortable, it tells me like I am not supposed to be in this place. So what is it that I need to do not to feel like this? Like some people are okay with being uncomfortable. I am not okay with that. So I think that is it for me. Whenever I have made an upgrade, it has been because something did not feel right. So I'm just going to try things or figure out what it is. And I mean, honestly, the going back to school wasn't a place of uncomfortable. That was a place of I don't like to take tests, and my LSAT was about to expire. So what you about to do is apply to go back to school. But going through that process, it was once I start, I don't stop until I finish. So yeah, to answer, I guess the question, sum it up, because I feel uncomfortable, and once I start it, I just have to finish it.
That's good.
Good. I like that. Good answer. Tawana?
And for me, taking that leap in the personal life, taking a leap to get married again. Again, once I got divorced, I wasn't the one that said, "Oh, I'll never get married again," and I wasn't the one that said, "I want to get married right now." So the way that it happened the way that it was supposed to happen, and I look at, I didn't want to do anything that I did in the previous marriage in this one. And so it was the way that Brian came, it was just easy to just kind of go with the flow. And it hasn't been no relationship is perfect, but when I tell you this is definitely a different dynamic for me. So it's a totally different vibe with this marriage. And I will say also, with Irene, you mentioned how they both happened like at the same time. Like it was within the same year. So it's like, how can I be happy and sad? One thing it did teach me in both scenarios is I have no other choice but to trust God. Because if I rely on me, it's not going to happen, right? I wouldn't have got married if I relied on me. I wouldn't have been able to move forward, with the losing a son, because that is like a life change. And both of them are life changing, but I had no choice but to trust God and to basically move in faith. Like literally some days, every step I take, I'm just saying the name of Jesus, because in my own strength, I don't have it. Right. I have to trust God that this marriage is going to be what you ordain. I have to trust God that, with this loss, something greater is coming out of it. Right. There's purpose. So my motto that I have taken on last year, like more so than any other time in my life, is to live life with and on purpose.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I love that.
That's good. That's good. So besties out there, we hope you all are taking notes. As far as ways, not even ways, but watch the signs. That's actually what I got from Stephanie, was to watch the signs, to know when it's time to make that shift, when it's time to make that that improvement in your life, when it's time to almost go to the next level in your life. If you're feeling complacent, if you feel like you've gotten into like this mundane routine, and you've gotten too comfortable, it's like, okay, maybe it's time for you to make that shift. And then even with Tawana saying, as far as you got to live life on purpose, with the purpose, did I say it right?
Love
On
that.
and with purpose. Yeah.
Live life on and with purpose. So are you fulfilling your purpose? Where you're at right now, take a step back and almost ask yourself, like, are you really, really, really fulfilling the purpose that God has for your life? If not, then step out there and make the necessary changes. And your changes don't have to be their changes. It doesn't have to always be going back to school. It doesn't have to be getting married again. It can be whatever. It can be something as small as, hey, you need to change your eating habits. You need to start exercising. That is upgrading your lifestyle. So I do want to ask you all, as far as like, so what are some of like the first steps that a person can take, or they should take, concerning upgrading or improving their life? Like some of those like initial steps that they should take. I was kind of thinking about yourself as far as helping our audience. Like what happened with you where you decided, okay, now it's time. What words of wisdom can you share with our audience?
I would say be true to yourself. Be honest with yourself. And I think that it starts with you, because if you're not like 100% sure of yourself, honest with yourself, know who you really, really are, and know what you want, and don't be afraid to go after what you want, right? And even with that, once you learn it, once you put in the work to be that woman, to be the best you that you can be, own it. And it's okay to own it, like walk in it, and don't let nobody take that away from you. Like, you know, the work and the time that you put in to become the woman or the man that you are. Like for me, I went to therapy in 2020, and I know with therapy and with prayer, I know the work that I put in to be this woman that I am today. And I won't let nobody take that from me. So I would say be true to yourself, like lean in, have those hard conversations with yourself, right? Like a lot of times we're trying to build relationships outside of ourselves, but we're with ourselves every day, right? So that self-talk is really important. Those affirmations, like just building yourself up, right? Because you're connecting you with everybody else. You're connecting you with work. You're connecting you with your friends. You're connecting you, right? So everything kind of starts within you. So I think tapping into what's already in you and being true and honest with yourself, it starts there.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I should have went first because that was very eloquent, and I don't have anything as eloquent. Mine are very simple. Consult God, consult yourself, consult your work habits, and then consult your bank account. Like, I feel like those are the things, because oftentimes we are making decisions. We didn't ask God. We didn't check in with ourselves to make sure, as Tawanda said, am I at the place where I should be doing this? We don't look at our work ethics. We put these big upgrades in front of ourselves and realize you actually don't work that hard. You might not be ready for that. And then we don't consult our bank accounts. My God is a God who can do great and mighty things, but he also provides. Are you ready for what this, depending on what the upgrade is, are you ready for it? And looking at all aspects of your life, honestly.
Yeah, I really like that about, consulting your bank account, and then, really looking at yourself. Those are two. And then what Tawana said, as far as the work she put in to be the woman that she is. You guys have provided like really good keys. And because I was gonna say, you gotta become your authentic self in order to upgrade. Otherwise, you're gonna be looking at, well, how did Kiran upgrade? I want to run and do that, and I'm gonna run and do what Stephanie did. I'm gonna run and do. No, you have to show up as your authentic self first and putting in the work. And sometimes that is going to counseling and things like that, that you have to make sure you work yourself. But like Stephanie said, you do, want to travel every year, but are you saving for that? Are you
Yes,
saving
yes.
your money to travel every year? And then you not getting to the bottom of the barrel to travel. You know what I'm saying? You saving
Right,
your money, but all your bills are paid. Like Stephanie
right.
said, God is a provider, but you still have to use wisdom
Mhm.
at the same time. So I think that upgrade looks different because upgrade could be just paying your bills on time. Do you even
Right.
that, right?
Mhm.
So, you guys have made it so simple and you have given us so many good steps and tips to really help us upgrade. And you guys are living proof of upgrading. I've known you both for some time now and I can see the
Mhm.
growth. And you guys are both continuing to develop and being who
Yes.
all that God has called you to be. And I
Mhm.
think that the women that are listening to this, look at them as examples. Like, no one is perfect, but they've taken their lives from one level to the next, and they're just going to
Yes.
continue to even grow even more. So I've
Yes.
already asked you guys, like we have our signature question. We always ask like a red flag in friendship, a green flag. I don't want to ask that. So I'm gonna throw a curveball in.
Oh, oh,
This has really been on my mind. Kirana, I was talking about this floater friend. And it's been on my mind. I can't let this thing. I didn't know it was a thing, right? And so I'm talking to everybody about, did y'all know what a floater friend was? Am I old? Like, what's going on? Um, so Kirana, I was talking about a floater friend and a backup friend. Do y'all think that's a thing? Like people are floater friend, like they don't got their person, they just float from friend to friend. And then do y'all think it's the thing where people are like a backup friend? I don't my main ace coon boom ain't available. So I'm just gonna call my B choice. What y'all think about that?
oh,
I
this sounds
think
like another
it is.
podcast.
I wanted to get y'all opinion. What y'all think about that? Yeah, what y'all think? Go on, Stephanie.
Yeah, I think it is definitely a thing. I am glad that I do not have friends like this.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I do think that there are people who go from go from kind of group to group
Right.
because it's hard to stay true to yourself when you have to stay for a while. So once you
Mm.
Yeah.
figure me out, I need to float to the next
Oh,
thing.
that's a good perspective.
So
Okay.
Mhm.
I think that's the floater friend, that's kind of why that happens.
Yeah.
And then the backup, I don't necessarily think the backup friend is a bad thing. I wouldn't necessarily call them a friend,
Right.
but if I know my core group of friends might not be into a particular activity, I have this is the backup right here. Um,
Got it. Okay.
once you call them a friend is when you get in trouble.
Yeah.
I feel
You're an
like there's
associate, like
lower.
my
Yeah.
associate, and we're interested in concerts, so I'm gonna go to the concert.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Be
My
like Bad
concert
Boo
friend.
Bo or
That's
something
my
like that.
concert friend.
Got it. Okay, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I didn't think about. Okay. We're on to something.
That's a good way to look at that, especially with the backup associate. As far as just having, you have that's something in common, whatever that something is. It can be, you both like to go to plays, and none of your other friends want to go to a play. You both like basketball, women's basketball. Nobody else is into that, so you have that particular person in your life that you can kind of share that with. That's good. That's Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I
That
didn't
is,
think about that.
Yeah.
Okay, Stephanie. Tawana, what you think?
oh, this is, we need another podcast just to talk about friendships because no, this has been like the topic of our household for about a month now.
Oh
Okay.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, just different friends on different levels, right? I just
Mhm.
think that you have different friends on different levels, right?
Yeah.
Um, I try and I'm learning that you just can't always mix them all, right?
No,
You
you
can't mix
can't.
them all.
You cannot do that.
You cannot mix them all the time, right?
Yeah.
Wow, this is good. I don't, so for me, I guess because I used to feel like I had to depend on being around somebody all the time,
Mm.
right? And then when I was separated and then divorced, I literally kind of stripped myself and started going out to eat by myself, right? I had to learn that it was really hard. Like the very first time I went and sat and ate by myself, I was crying. The lady thought I was crazy. She was like, "Are you okay, ma'am?" I was like, "I just need this moment," because you're so used to being dependent on other people being there to the point where I even started going to visiting a church by myself, something I have never done before. And so I just eventually got used to it, right? Not to say that I'm a loner, but I've learned how to operate alone.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing. So I don't have to have someone. I can go to the mall by myself. I haven't gotten to the place to go to the movies by myself, although I hear it's the thing. People can do that, but I haven't gotten there. But I just don't have to. You've done it, Steph? Went to the movies by yourself?
Absolutely.
Really? I
Mm-hmm. Just don't go at nighttime.
Okay. But yeah, but I think you have different friends on different levels. Like there are friends I'll call and say, "Hey, you know, you want to go to the mall? Hey, you want to go out to eat? Hey, you want to go hear live music?" And it necessarily may not be the same friend, may not necessarily be the same friend.
Sure.
But yeah, I can do some things on my own. I'm not dependent on anybody anymore as far as that. Yes, it's good to, to have people to hang out with, but I don't know about that. What is it called? A floater friend and a backup friend?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I pretty much, again, I have different friends on different levels in different groups, but they are pretty much they're the same. If I'm with this group, everybody from that group is going to be here for the most part. And like if I have a birthday gathering or something, somebody from all the groups may come, but we don't all hang out together. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
No, I get it. Yeah, that's
We just there to
very-
celebrate you. We not friends.
that
I ain't
part.
friends. We here for her.
Oh, you said y'all not friends. It was just right.
We here for her.
And sometimes you think you can connect, right? And it's not a bad thing if you can connect, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that floater friend, I don't like, I'm not gonna say I don't like. I think it's weird when every time you see somebody, you're like, that's somebody different like every week. Like and it's fine. I think as I get older, because I used to being honest with myself, I used to try to fit in, right? In my teens and in my 20s and in my 30s. I used to try to fit in, but it's like in my 40s and going the other way, no, I'm not that girl no more.
Yeah.
So I've learned how to, operate on my own. Like I'm perfectly fine being at home watching a movie, going to the mall by myself, going for walks by myself. Like I actually love to walk by myself. So yeah, but I just if that's your thing, right? I'm not knocking anybody. If you're a floater and you like to float on, right?
Hold on.
Float on. Right. And if you are that backup friend and some people just, I just want you to go to the movie, somebody to hang out with. I get it. Everybody's not there. But when you spend time with yourself and you learn yourself and you learn things about you, it works for some people, it doesn't work for others.
Yes.
No, that's good. I'm glad you guys were played along and answered my question. Because it was something that, Kira and I have been talking about, and I just wanted to know if it was a thing, was it just something that I just didn't realize? But you both have given me a different perspective.
Yeah.
Kirana, I talk about it on our social media platforms. It's going to be coming up. Like you'll get our opinion, but there's talking about upgrading yourself. It's like a personal relationship with yourself, but it affects other people. And with our podcast being all things relationship, I just wanted to throw that curveball at y'all. So thank you so much for being on our show. Thank you guys for always being willing to come and talk to our besties and being our besties. We're going to have to get y'all back on the platform again to talk about some hot topics. We love to hear you all's opinions. We love to have you guys on. Besties, I hope you took great notes and learned all about Stephanie Jones and Tawana Williams. And you will be definitely seeing and hearing from them again soon. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you are not following us on all of our platforms, what are you doing with your life? We are the bestie advice on everything: TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You should be following us and become a bestie. Until next time, see you later. Bye, besties.
Bye, y'all.